Ladies and gentlemen, his great-granddaddy fought with Lee, his granddaddy fought with Pershing, and his daddy fought with Patton. His family couldn't get along with anyone. Will you please welcome the new Mouth of the South, Frank Eugene Cruse! Cruse! Cruse!
Good evening, my fellow Americans. I come to you tonight with a very, very, very heavy heart. This is the first of a series of Cruse news reports. And we got two things on the agenda tonight I want to talk to you about. And the first is these communist, liberal, hippie creeps that are disrupting our nation's economy in Wall Street, and now they spread into other parts of the country. And this is why it's so important to keep Gitmo open and build a series of Gitmos around the nation, because we all need someone to put someplace to put these commie liberal creeps until they can have a fair trial for sedition and treason and get what's coming after their fair trial, because I do believe in American justice. I also believe that our greatest president was Richard M. Nixon. Now, I like Ronald Reagan and I like George W. Bush, and sometimes I've said Bush is our greatest president, but when I reflect and I think about it, Richard M. Nixon knew what to do with commie liberal hippie creeps. If you all just go back and look at what he did in Kent State, Ohio, we had a bunch of commie liberal hippie creeps shutting down a university, and the National Guard was sent in, and in order to defend themselves, they had to shoot for these commie hippie liberal creeps, and unfortunately they died before they could get a trial. But I do believe our soldiers need to defend themselves against these rock-throwing hippies, just like the Israelis need to defend themselves against the rock-throwing Palestinian terror thugs. And I think what we ought to do is get a president that's going to send in the 182nd Airborne into New York, into Wall Street, and these commie hippie liberal thugs will get what's coming. American justice. All right, write your congressman. Remember, vote Republican. We're not gonna have justice for these people, so-called people, until we get a Republican president. But we will eventually, if this nation survives another year, we will get justice. Now, the second thing I want to talk about is this group called PETA, the pissants in favor of the ethical treatment of ass clowns. I'm sorry. I think they, what are they called? The people in favor of the ethical treatment of animals. Now, they believe animals have rights, and I'm going to say something that surprise you. I believe animals have rights too. They got the right to taste good. And what PETA is now up to is they suing the state of California. Now get this, they suing because in SeaWorld they say that the orca whales are being treated like slaves. And we got an amendment to the Constitution that prohibits slavery. I know it's crazy, but that's what they doing. Now these whales are just lucky they in SeaWorld and not on the menu, because oh heck, I'm going to open a series of restaurants called Mac Cruises, and we're going to have big whale Macs on the menu, and Believe me, I've tried it, and they taste good. Tastes like chicken. And we're also going to have dolphin tuna. We're going to repeal the laws that these liberals made. And we're going to, because the tuna tastes a lot better when the dolphin was in there. All right, that's all for tonight on the Cruse Report. And I want to remind you to go to church this Sunday. I want to remind you, I want to ask you to say a very quick prayer with me. Father, I want to ask you to come into my life. I want all of the people listening right now to touch the computer. Go ahead. Don't feel bashful. Put your hand on the computer, because what the Bible say, wherever 2 or 3 are gathered in my name, I'm there with you. And Jesus, I do believe, would adopt modern technology. So touch the computer and ask Jesus to come into your life. And if he already is in there, ask him to renew his spirit in your life. And get yourself into a good Bible-believing church this Sunday, not one of these hippie liberal churches that support these pissant commie demonstrators, but a good Bible-believing church. Amen. And all the people said, amen. This here is Frank Eugene Cruse signing off. Remember, love America.